After escaping Egypt, the Israelites had witnessed miracles, plagues, parted seas, manna from heaven, yet their faith still faltered. In the middle of the desert, with doubt rising and trust fading, God gave Moses a strange command: build me a sanctuary that I may dwell among the Israelites. But why would a holy God choose to live among a doubting nation? And how does this ancient tent in the wilderness point us directly to Jesus? The answer may change how you see both the tabernacle and the cross. Moving on, in Exodus 25:8, God gave Moses an explicit command: let them make a sanctuary for me, that I may dwell among them. This wasn't just about building a tent. It was about God choosing to commune with his children. Furthermore, the tabernacle, intricate and reverent, became a portable dwelling place for the divine presence. It stood at the center of Israel's camp, surrounded by the tribes on every side, just as God desired to be at the center of their lives. Therefore, the tabernacle symbolized more than worship. It embodied relationship, intimacy, and nearness to God. However, there was still a veil, a curtain separating God's glory from his people. Only the high priest could enter the most holy place, and only once a year. This distance, though bridged in part by the veil, still reminded them of sin's separation. But this was never the final plan. Moving on, as we see in the events of Matthew and Luke, we come to a stable in Bethlehem. There another sanctuary was being prepared, not of fabric and gold, but of flesh and blood. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, says John 1:14. The literal translation for the Greek word dwelt is tabernacled. In Jesus, God pitched his tent among us again, this time without curtains. Furthermore, Jesus became the true and better tabernacle. He didn't just represent God's presence, he is God's presence, as stated in Hebrews 1:3. The Son is the radiance of God's glory and the exact representation of his being. Moreover, he walked where we walk, ate what we eat, suffered what we suffer, all so we could be truly united with the Father. Therefore, the tabernacle in Exodus was not merely a historical event. It was a holy echo of what was to come, a foreshadowing of Emmanuel, God with us. Additionally, even now, moving forward from the days of tents and temples, he dwells not in a building made by human hands, but in our hearts, made anew by his Spirit. The tabernacle was the beginning. Jesus was the fulfillment. And now we are his dwelling place. Furthermore, Jesus became the true and better tabernacle. He didn't just represent God's presence. He was God's presence in human form. Everything the tabernacle symbolized, every lampstand, every curtain, every offering, found its fulfillment in Jesus. Moving on, building on the items of the tabernacle and connections, consider the golden lampstands that lit the holy place. It gave light to the priests as they ministered in the tabernacle. Moreover, Jesus declared in John 8:12, I am the light of the world, shining not just within a tent, but into the darkness of human hearts. The bread of presence sat on a table before God as a sign of his continual provisions. Jesus, however, took that a step further when he said in John 6:35, I am the bread of life, offering nourishment not only for the day, but for eternity. Moving on, the altar of sacrifice. Animals were laid there to atone for the sins of the people. But it was messy, constant, and incomplete. This pointed forward to the cross, where Jesus, the perfect lamb, was offered once for all. Hebrews 9:12 tells us that he entered the most holy place, not by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood, having obtained eternal redemption. Furthermore, continuing to build on the tabernacle, the veil, that thick curtain which separated humanity from the presence of God, it was a barrier that reminded everyone, you may come close, but not too close. However, when Jesus died in Matthew 27:51, that very veil tore in two from top to bottom, not by human hands, but by divine declaration. This act signified that through his death, access to God was now open to all who believe. Therefore, Jesus didn't abolish the tabernacle system. He completed it. Every ritual, every object, every shadow found its substance in him. What was once a symbolic tent in the desert became, in Jesus, a living, breathing, eternal connection between God and humanity. Furthermore, he promised that his Holy Spirit would dwell not just among us, but within us. No longer would people need to journey to a holy place to find God. In 1 Corinthians 6:19 says that through Christ we have become temples of the Holy Spirit. He tabernacles in us. But dwelling isn't just for our comfort. This is for our transformation. As he once walked among Israel in a cloud by day and fire by night, he now walks within us through every trial, every joy, and every ordinary moment, guiding and shaping us to reflect his glory. Moving on, we look forward to the ultimate fulfillment yet to come. In Revelation 21:3, John hears a loud voice from the throne saying, "Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people." This is the final tabernacle, the eternal presence of God with his redeemed creation. So yes, looking back on Exodus 25:8 was more than a construction command. It was a promise, a whisper of what would one day unfold in a manger, echo from a cross, and break forth from an empty tomb. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. YouTube has picked this video just for you. Thank you all, and God bless.